everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new series of Disney tips videos. Yes, so all of my previous Disney parks tips videos have been about Walt Disney World, but this series is actually going to be about Tokyo Disney Resort. I got the inspiration for doing this short series because I uploaded a bunch of Tokyo Disneyland vlogs in about March of this year, and a couple of people commented saying that they liked the tips that I gave in those vlogs. So I wanted to do some dedicated tips videos because as I used to live in Tokyo and visit Tokyo Disneyland Resort very often, I've got a few things to say about Tokyo Disneyland Resort. So these videos are going to be all about Tokyo Disneyland, Disney Sea, and a little bit about the resort area. And they're actually going to be divided up into, I've written this down, transportation and time to go, shopping and eating, rides and parades, I'm not looking at my notes much, and weather and clothing. This vlog is going to be about transportation and time to go. I'll link to the other vlogs there or there, one of those places, so that you can jump straight to those if you want to. All right, let's go. So first of all, I want to start by telling you guys that I'm not going to talk too much about hotels in these videos because I didn't actually ever stay in any of the Tokyo Disney Resort hotels. And this was because I was living in Tokyo at the time, so I had a flat there. And even when I visited Tokyo on vacation, I've used Tokyo as a base and just commuted out to the Tokyo Disney Resort area. This is actually something I would recommend because most people that visit Tokyo Disney Resort will want to go to Japan to see Japan and see Tokyo and visit Disney, so they do all of it together. And staying within Tokyo affords you a lot more flexibility than staying outside of it. Tokyo Disneyland, well, Tokyo Disney Resort is technically outside of Tokyo. It's about half an hour to 45 minutes outside of Tokyo, and around where it is, apart from the Tokyo Disney Resort itself, there's not actually that much more to do. So if you want a full Japan experience, like you're going to visit Tokyo, the rest of Japan and the Tokyo Disney Resort, I recommend staying inside of Tokyo and then commuting out. I do have some good tips though for some of the hotels. So first of all, the Disneyland hotels, the most expensive hotel in the resort area, has beautifully themed rooms. I know it has a themed room for Beauty and the Beast and one for Alice in Wonderland and a few of the other big movies as well. So if you're big into themed rooms, check those out because they look very, very intricate, which is yeah, quite magical. Thingamablogs have a couple of videos on these, so I'll link them down below. Another one of the expensive hotels is the Hotel Miracosta. This is the hotel which is twinned with Disney Sea. Now, it has some rooms which are quite pricey, but they have this fantastic view out over the Disney Sea lagoon lake thing where the volcano is, and so you have this brilliant view of Phantasm. Phantasmic is at Disney Sea inside of Tokyo Disney Resort, so you can watch Phantasmic from your hotel room, which is just phenomenal, but they are very, very pricey rooms. The Miracosta Hotel also has its own dedicated entrance and exit from the park, only for people that are staying inside of the Miracosta Hotel, which is pretty awesome. Some people who have been to Walt Disney World and other parks will know you get the extra magic hours. I think Paris does this as well, extra magic hours, when people who are staying on Disney Resort hotels can enter the park for a few hours early. In Tokyo Disney Resort, they only actually do extra 15 minutes, so that and that. Just at 15 minutes. The reason why they give you the extra 15 minutes into the park, which I know seems crazy, it's like, what benefit is it to you to get an extra 15 minutes? The reason why they give it to you is because it allows those people that are staying at Disney Resorts hotels to get their fast passes before everyone else. And I'm going to talk about fast passes in a different video. So let's talk about transportation. If you are staying in Tokyo because you decide to see some of Tokyo and just commute out to the Tokyo Disney Resort, a couple of the best places to be based, and Tokyo is a big city, so the best places to be based would be Shibuya or Ebisu, which are on the west side, and on the east side by Tokyo Station. Tokyo Station has a direct train route which goes straight out of Tokyo Station to Maihama, which is the closest station to the Tokyo Disney Resort. If you stay on the west side by Shibuya or Ebisu, you take one train round to a place called Shinkiba. So Shinkiba, you can change from there to one train that then goes down to Maihama. It takes you a couple of stops to get there. The train fare between any of the Tokyo stations, the Tokyo Station, Shibuya and Ebisu, out to Maihama should be around 500 yen. And if you have a Suica card, that will work on that journey. A Suica card is the sort of Japanese train commuter cards. You should pick up one if you go to Japan because they work all the way around the country, and you just load it up with money and then you pay for it, just like any commuter card, like we have, like Oyster card that we have in London, for instance. It's the same type of thing. If you have a Japanese rail pass, the journey between Tokyo Station out to Maihama Station and from Shibuya and Ebisu out to Maihama Station as well should be covered by your Japanese rail pass. All of the trains that I gave you details on are JR trains, so if you have a Japanese rail pass and it's in date, you should be able to get that whole journey for free. Now let's talk about tickets. Now, we always bought our tickets in advance before we went to Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, and that's because Tokyo Disneyland can get, in particular, Disney Sea as well, but Tokyo Disneyland in particular can get very, very busy on certain days. And we'll talk about crowd calendars in a little bit. On days when it gets really, really busy, Tokyo Disneyland or Disney Sea will cut off people from getting into the parks and buying tickets on the door. If you arrive at the station, they might have like your sandwich board out there which is saying they're not accepting any more people into the park and they've actually stopped selling tickets for that day, or they'll only let people in after a certain time, around 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, when they are sure that some people have already gone back to their hotels or back home. So the best thing to do to avoid being caught out in this situation is to buy your tickets in advance. And the best place to buy your tickets in advance is at a Disney store. My favorite Disney store is the one in Shibuya. It's a beautifully themed store. It's sort of like a castle inside. And they have a Tokyo Disney Resort ticket booth up on the highest floor, up on the 3rd floor. So that's the best place to go. Pre-buy your tickets for the days that you're going to go. The ticket price is about 7,400 yen for one day. I think that's about 50-60 pounds at the moment. I think that's pretty decent price, but some Disney parks are very, very expensive for one day admission ticket. But yeah, get your tickets in advance. There are other Disney stores that sell tickets too. I think Ikebukuro has a Disney store, which is quite a nice one too, and Shinjuku has one as well, so you can buy your tickets there. So let's talk about when to go. Now, I actually think Japan has a few extra seasons that we don't have, which makes it a little bit interesting when trying to plan the best times to go to Tokyo Disney Resort. So they have things like rainy season and humidity season, which is a little bit different to the types of weather that we get here, at least in the UK. But we're going to go through month by month, and I'll let you know which ones are good months to go to and which ones are not such good months. So let's start off with January and February. Winter time, I think, in Tokyo Disney Resort and Japan generally is beautiful. Although it is a little bit colder, they do have a winter, so you will have to wear a jacket, and some days, particularly in February, can get really quite cold. It's also incredibly sunny and very, very clear. So if you're a photographer, you like getting lots of pictures, during winter is a perfect time to go because you have a perfect view of everything. There's also very little rainfall, so that will be, you know, nice as well because it's less likely that it's going to rain. Now, March and April are very popular times to go to Japan because of cherry blossom season. The only problem is that's also the time that the Japanese kids change their school year. So their school year ticks over in March. That means that they have a long period of vacation during the Easter time. So it's very, very likely that the parks are going to be really quite crowded. Tokyo Disney Resort also doesn't have a lot of cherry blossom trees in it. So if you're going to Tokyo Disney Resort to see the cherry blossoms, it's probably not so worth it because the parks will be very, very crowded and you ain't gonna see many cherry blossoms anyway. Check to see though when the kids are in and out of school for the times that you're going. You might be lucky if they are in school. March and April are nice times. They have great weather during that time. It's balmy warm. It's not, you know, very, very warm. So weather-wise, it is pretty nice. May, I think, is one of my favorite times in Japan because it's hot weather. It's very hot, somewhere between 25 and 30, but it's not humid yet. So it feels like summer. To them it's not summer, but to us it is summer dress time. But you know, so you're getting that kind of summer feeling, but it is in May and you're not getting that humidity yet, so that's great. One thing to be very careful about in May though is Golden Week is around that time, and I'm going to talk about Japanese holidays in a little bit. June and July, I think you should flat out avoid, and the reason why is that is rainy season time. Around Tokyo, rainy season lasts for a very long time. It starts in early June and it will go all the way on till late July, so it will just rain throughout that whole time. You will get rain probably every day, most likely all day. So be very wary about that. Prices are cheaper, which is good, but you'll be running from place to place and rain is heavy and hard. So it's very, very difficult for you to avoid it. So just don't go really during those times. August is another quite tough month because August suffers both with the kids being off of school again, so there's a lot of crowds around, and also the humidity is extremely high. The humidity in Tokyo area will be about 96-98%, and the temperature around 34-36 during August. It gets very, very hot, and you're in the open air and it feels very sticky even as soon as you leave the hotel. I would say avoid it. It is manageable, especially if you've done Florida in August, you may be able to cope, but it's very uncomfortable. So just second guess it if you're thinking about doing August. On the other hand, September and October are great times. The summer in Japan tends to last for a very long time. So September and October will still be quite hot, but the temperature will start to drop as well as the humidity. So during both of those months, you can get some pretty nice time in the parks. In mid-November, you'll find that the long summer that Tokyo seems to have will flip over into autumn pretty quickly around the mid-November time, which makes for very, very beautiful leaves on the walls, leaves on the walls? Leaves on the trees, because the leaves will change very quickly as well with the weather. So you'll go very quickly into autumn, but autumn, just like winter, is still pretty great. Autumn is very clear, it's very dry, it's a little cooler, obviously, because it's autumn winter time, but it's a very beautiful time to be around the parks. That's it. That's the whole year. That brings us back up to December and the Christmas time, which is still quite a recommended time to be around. So I mentioned Japanese holidays earlier, and I'll leave a link below to where you can find out when all the Japanese holidays are. And it's kind of important because Japan gets a lot more national holidays, so days off of work, than we get here in the UK. And I think we get less than America, but I mean, Japan still has way more. They actually have a few weeks of the year which are called Golden Week, and I think there's a Silver Week too, when all of the kids and all of the people who work in companies will be off of work. Those times, the park will be completely rammed. It will be very, very busy. So check on the link that I leave down below in the description to find out when those holidays are, and avoid the parks if on those days. It's just not worth going because it will be too busy. Most people in Japan do all of their holidays when the national holidays are on, because they don't take a lot of time off of work. So just avoid them. It's best that way. Crowd calendars are good sources to find out how busy the crowds are going to be on those days that you want to go. Obviously, they're going to be busier on national holidays days, times when the kids are off of school, and also on the weekends. So if you can go midweek when it's not a Japanese holiday, that's the best time to go in the parks. That's kind of common sense, but it's a good thing to check out anyway, because Japanese holidays really do sneak up on you. You know, sometimes I would leave my house and just go, why are there so many people around? Oh, it's a Japanese holiday. In each one of these videos, I want to talk about a favorite unique experience, something that is particularly unique to the Tokyo Disney Resort. And for this video, I'm going to talk about how seasonal Tokyo Disney Resort is. Japan generally absolutely adores seasons, and they have different seasonal things flowing throughout the whole year. So, you know, you go from Christmas to New Year's to Valentine's season to cherry blossom season to festival season, and it just goes on and on and on. And Tokyo Disney Resort is perfect for doing these things as well. They will have the standard seasons like you get in, or seasonal things that you get in the other Disney parks, such as Christmas and Halloween, but they also do things for various Japanese festivals like Tanabata in August. They will celebrate Easter. They also celebrate the summer season, and my personal favorite, which is the Frozen Fantasy season, which happens in winter. So they tend to do things like not fake snow, they push out like real snow, and they do a Anna and Elsa parade around the parks and these kind of things, which are just beautiful and perfect for each one of the seasons that they pick. There is a special seasonal booth as well. If you go into Tokyo Disney Resort and you go straight through Main Street and Tokyo Disneyland, if you go into Tokyo Disneyland, go straight through Main Street and then get to the castle forecourt, there's a little booth on the castle forecourt, and that sells special seasonal stuff or gives out things to do with the season. Like if there's an Easter egg hunt, they'll give out the map at that point. So go over to that booth and check out all the cool seasonal stuff. Cool, that's everything for the transportation and time to go video. Come back next time, we'll be talking about shopping and eating at Tokyo Disney Resort. I hope you like this series. Yeah, give it a thumbs up if you do. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.